Hey guys, it's your girl Rayan and I'm back with another video. It will be a last one of my mini series of the EXJWDIARY Diary hashtag EXJWDIARY live it experience. And last video I did talk about what I went through pretty much and the damage it has affected me even now. And I just wanted to say also that thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And let's build this community of XJW that need the love and the support, especially the ones who are just recently leaving and going through the same situation as me. So if you guys haven't watched my video, my last one, please do watch them. I'm gonna link it here or here, but one of them. So I will link it up. So this video is actually gonna be more motivational and pretty much gonna talk how I rebuilt my life after leaving the organization, the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, and perhaps that you might be going through what I'm going through, and perhaps it would help you or it would help somebody else. So once I left JW, I was in my final year of high school and I went for counseling. My guidance counselor hooked me up with a social worker nearby the area, and she really helped me a lot. She did a mixture of cognitive behavior and dialect behavior therapy. So if you guys don't know the difference, the cognitive behavior is more focusing on your thoughts and your feelings and behaviors and how it's influencing you. So in my case, how Jehovah's Witnesses has influenced my thoughts, my feelings, and the behavior about that religion and what I've been taught. And then she did, it's called Dialect Behavior Therapy. So that one, it's like CBT, but it emphasizes more on towards like regulating emotions and being mindful. And the toughest one for me was to learn to accept the pain, learn to accept what I went through. That was the hardest part. So she would give me, after the session, she would give me a homework to do for me to reflect on. And that one specific is to learn to accept the pain was the most hardest part of my therapy. And I'm gonna tell you, guarantee you guys, once you guys go into therapy, it's like it is okay to pour out your heart and let it cry. So in my last video, I did cry. The reason being is that the person that abused me long time ago when I was 16 and is back in the religion has abused someone else in my family which is younger than me. So I was 16 when it happened, and the person that happened now is younger than 16. So those people that watch my video, my last video, I do apologize. I was crying because I remember it like yesterday. And then when I heard the news and I was on the moment of making the video, I cried because it is hard. It is very hard to let it all out in the public because it's very confidential when you go with a therapist, right? But because that it happened again, someone close to me, it's unbelievable. The hate, the anger has come back to me, and I just tell you, I just want to punch that person. So this time I went to the police and asked about to open up my file, because this time I am going to file for sexual abuse so that I can help the second victim in my family, because this is unfair, and the abuse, the damage it has affected me, it's really unbearable. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna move on. So I did my counseling, and it took me about 2 years. 2 years to finish. Usually in counseling, they have like a time limit and how long you can do it. But for me, because that trauma has taken my life into a direction of unhappiness per se. I was happy in some moment of my life, and then the rest are mostly unhappy. But for those 2 years, I did the counseling, and really helped me and to learn to accept the pain. So I've learned to accept the pain, and then from thinking negative about it, it changed my mind to, you know what, I want to be this person. I want to be the mentor of this person, and you know what, it is going to be okay. So when I graduated high school, I went to school, and I told my counselor, I said, you know, this is what I want to do. I've always wanted to work with children, and so I am in the field. Always wanted to be a peer mentor for students, and I am in the field. So this is what I'm doing. So once I did my counseling to rebuild my life, the second part I did was a question that happened to the book that I read, the self-help book by Jen Sincero. It's called You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. So this is the book. In the page she wrote, is your fear greater than your faith in the unknown and yourself? Or is your faith in the unknown and yourself greater than your fear? Ooh, that's very tough. That's very tough and deep to reflect on. So for me, my faith was greater than my fear. My faith was, I was taught that if I leave this organization, I no longer love God. So that's another thing that really ticked me off, right? Because a lot of XJW, when they're baptized, they get this fellowship, and then they get shunned. So like completely like not talk to the family members, friends, nothing like that. But for me, I didn't baptize, I didn't finish the study, so I was called disassociate. So I didn't experience of being shunned, but my faith was kind of confused me more, where if I leave the organization, is God gonna punish me? Is God gonna be mad at me? Or is God gonna help me? And then after that, it said, is your fear greater than your faith in the unknown and yourself? My fear was, if I leave the organization, is God going to forget about me? That was the whole what's in my head. Then I came up, somebody showed me a chapter, so I started studying Catholics, the Catholic Bible, and the person showed me Joshua 1 verse 9. It said that no matter where you are, God will always be with you. And that to me put a relief to my heart and to my mind. So that is always in my mind, that wherever I go or wherever you go, God will always be with you. Always pray and ask God to always be with you. So for me, when I left, obviously, I didn't really pray that much. And because I was going through a lot of stuff, there's things that I was going through as a teenager and then entering adulthood and living on my own, because I was homeless for a few months before I woke up and say, I don't want to be homeless. This is not the life that I want. And I'm pretty sure God did not want me to put here. So that changed my mind as well. And because of the question, is your faith in the unknown and yourself greater than your fear, or is your fear greater than your faith in the unknown and yourself? To me, they're intertwined. But is it the fear that's the biggest, or is your faith the biggest? For me, it's my faith. It's because of what I've been taught, and it's in my mind, it's running in my head. And when you're in JW, Armageddon is emphasis and fear that Armageddon is coming. Like, God is near us. The earth will end soon. So that is in my head. So faith was up there for me. And then my fear is that if I'm not in this organization now, I'm going to die and I'm not going to live in paradise. So I have to accept that. And a lot of the prophecies in the Bible, especially the Armageddon, it is written in the Bible, but it hasn't been, like, applied yet. I mean, like the Babylons and the Romans, those, yes, it already happened. But Armageddon, the end is near. I do believe that we are living in our last days. The end is near, because they have the picture of this man, and each body limbs represents the hierarchy of the kings or something like that. And at the moment now, we're on the bottom, which is the foot, and it's like, I think it's clay and something else, they don't mix. And there's going to be so many battles in the last days. So when JW is talking about that, it's like fear. It's in my head. So if you guys are leaving the JW, you guys will be okay. Just remember that God will always be with us, and just keep praying. Find the truth on your own. Find what is the truth. Because all these prophecies that have been taught to me, God didn't give us prophecies to scare us. He gave us the prophecies to prepare us what's gonna happen. It shouldn't scare us. It should prepare us, and we should be reminded of what we should do. So with that said, thought I flipped my mind that, you know what, I am living in the last days. I'm gonna accept it. And also I'm gonna accept that God will be with me no matter where I go. And I did my best to serve Him, to learn about Him, and as well to practice His Bible teachings. So the third I did is be in the moment. Don't be in the moment of yesterday or the past or the future, because future, we don't know. Yesterday was yesterday. It's already past. So that past, the trauma that I went through, I still have it in my head, and I'm bringing it with me. So when I bring it with me, and let me tell you, I didn't date anybody till I I finally realized I'm gonna be okay. I didn't date until I was 18, entering 19. So I did it pretty late. When I talk about it to my friends in high school, they're like, oh my God, or in my college, like, what? That is so late. And I'm like, yeah, because when I was 16, I was 15, I didn't really think about guys. But then also, if I'm going to date, when I was in the JW organization, there's always a third person, a chaperone. So we can't really do a lot of things when you get a lot of like one-to-one intimate stuff like that. We can't do that. So I didn't date till I was 18, 19, and I'm kind of like okay with that because it helped me focus on myself at school rather than thinking about boys and what everybody else is talking about. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I want to focus on school. And that's the moment when I realized that JW does not want you pursue higher education. And if you guys go through so much YouTube videos, they're gonna say that higher education is a no-no because they are taking away your time to preach the good news. And when you're in a JW organization, they have a 2 pioneer session. I mean, not session, like a group, like a regular pioneer where I think it's over 90 hours a month that you have to dedicate. I can't do that. 90 hours. And there's the auxiliary pioneer, which I did, and that one is more flexible because you don't have to do it every single month. You can do like a month and then don't do it again, which is less hours. I did like it. I like the fact that I had close-knit friends in the organization, but I didn't like that knocking on the door. I still feel uncomfortable, or calling on the phone that I don't know. So things like that. So be in the moment right now. Be in the moment, accepting now. What are you gonna do? How are you going to make your day good today? Don't worry about the past. The past is the past. But you also have to learn that it needs to let go. Let go of the past. Don't worry about tomorrow or the future, because then you're going to think, what am I going to be in the future? What am I going to do? And then it's just going to more difficult in your mind, and then all the stress coming. So I changed my mindset. Number 4 is to love yourself. This one was another hard part for me to do, is to love myself. When you're abused, especially sexually abused, accepting your body and accepting the pain that you went through, it's hard. It's definitely hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's so hard because I feel shame. I felt dirty. I felt I don't belong here. I felt this body is not mine. I felt like all this negative. Overall, I had to learn to love myself again. In order to love myself again, I'm going to love somebody else. I'm going to find somebody else. I'm going to love who I'm going to be with. I'm going to love and enjoy my day, either with somebody else or by myself. So, that was the hardest part. Once I did my counseling, learning to accept the pain, that was hard. Took me 2 years. And then the question of either my fear is greater or my fate is greater. I had to recap everything. And then the third is be in the moment. accepting now. When I left JW, I need to change myself around because I'm no longer in that organization. So even now, I still do think like celebrating holidays. There's some holidays I don't celebrate, and then there's some that I do. And because I'm a mother of two, celebrating my own birthday, I really don't really care. It shouldn't be celebrate once a year. I think embrace it more. That wow, I'm gonna be 1 year older the following year. But because I have two kids, I enjoy seeing them with a happy face and celebrating a new year, a new age for them. Another one I don't celebrate is Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day shouldn't be one day. In my opinion, it should be every day. Celebrate the love every day, especially when you're with somebody. But if you're by yourself, celebrate it with yourself because you're loving yourself. Love who you are. Love what you are. So that way, you're not prone like, oh my goodness, Valentine's Day is here and I don't have anybody. Wow. No, it shouldn't be like that. So, and my final one is love yourself. That's what I'm saying, is to love yourself no matter what. Who you are and what you are. All the traumas you went through, all the experience you went through, those are the stepping stones for you to move on, to be better, per se. Yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. It is more uplifting for me to talk about how I rebuilt my life after leaving the JW organization, and I'm very happy. And the fact that my co-worker that I work with right now is also ex-JW. I did not even know until I told her, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. And that speaks a lot. And now we have so much common and how much we talk about it. And it just brings joy, brings happiness back in my life, that it's not my fault what I went through. So just remember that it is not your fault what you went through. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Until then, see you guys next time.